Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Elder Scrolls Lore. And before we begin, I'd like to make a shout out to Ares' channel for allowing me to use his music, and a shout out to the Discord chat. Feel free to join in the link in the description below and or the channel header. Now, few things for news. I've recorded the audio for the new video, for the new lore series, so it just needs to be edited and it'll be all set and ready to go. Other than that, there's a couple new series I've been planning on doing now that I got a PC, so whatever. And I know this is I decided to kind of break away from the cities for a little bit and do something we were talking about earlier I was talking with the other lore content creators. So today we're going to be talking about the Hist, and it came up after we were working on something, so expect something from all of us coming out in the future again soon. So I don't want to reveal too much yet. I don't know how we want all this set up yet, so I'm not going to say too much, but we are working together on something again. So I hope you guys enjoy all of that, and today we're going to be talking about the Hist. The Hist are a race of sentient trees that are said to have been widespread across all of Nirn, but are now almost solely confined to Blackmarsh. Some claim that they are the most ancient race of Nirn, and they are associated with Argonians who venerate them, but they are not worshipped in the traditional sense of the term. Information on the Hist is scarce, as the Argonians do not readily spread the information to others, or especially outsiders, and may even view such sharing as a betrayal to their own race. Now, the Hist are a kind of tree in appearance. Some say the Hist are mobile, although it has not been verified beyond that rumor. They draw water not only as a source of nourishment, but also as a repertoire of memories, although this may be figurative. The Hist are interconnected with each other, and they can communicate with one another through that link. They also communicate with those who ingest the Hist sap in the right manner, and are considered by Argonians to be a part of them, and on a level that is potentially biological. Now, the Hist produces sap that is used by Argonians in a variety of cultural practices, as well as which stimulating particular growth patterns in the Argonian, which determines its gender. Now, the sap also induces visions for the Argonians, who treat these like sacred experiences. It is also prized by the other races as an ingredient, and tainted samples can function as a hallucinogen. In sufficient quantities, the sap is poisonous to all races. The Argonians consider the Hist to be the source of all life. According to the Anuad, they are mentioned as being one of the two forms of life to emerge from the ruins of the 12 worlds, the other being the Alnofe. It is also claimed that the Hist originated from Oblivion, although it is possible that they merely fled there to escape the decimation of their realm on Nirn. Since Umbriel also came from Oblivion, the trees in Umbriel could be cousins of the Hist. The trees from Clavicus Vile's realm are vaguer than the Hist, and are not as intelligent and maybe even simpler. But like the Hist, they also can form sap into two different things. They can shape life and change its form. At some point in history, much of the Hist's realm on Mundus disappeared. Some claim this happened as a result of the Alnofe Wars, although other sources claim that the Hist were later decimated by the Dwemer, who chopped them down for wood. There is an account of the Hist of Haj Uxthil, taking its Argonians and fleeing to Oblivion to avoid this fate from the quote-unquote ancient past, which may refer to the event earlier mentioned in the Onuad. The Hist brought Argonians back to Blackmarsh to defend against the Oblivion crisis at the end of the Third Era, directing them in attacks to defeat Marunas Dagon's forces, and then later organized a subsequent invasion of Morrowind following the Red Year. A rogue Hist was part of the creation of Umbriel in the Fourth Era as well. The Hist do not have a distinct culture of their own that has been disclosed in any great depth, and a theory that the link they share allows them to operate in unison suggests a monolithic mindset. On occasions, divergent opinions emerge among the Hist. This results into them being purged from the other Hist, in that this was done by the Hist of Limoth in the Third Era. Now, the Argonians revere the Hist, considering them to be both their prior existence and their afterlife. The Hist form part of many Argonians' cultural rituals, as well as forming a essential part of Argonian tribal life. It is possible that the Hist from their root of their social structure, with each village forming around a single Hist tree. Argonians claim the ability to communicate with the Hist, although precise practices for doing so vary from tribe to tribe of Argonians. This communication takes on the significance of religious guidance for Argonians. The Hist play a central role in an Argonian's coming-of-age ceremony where they ingest Hist sap and are formally named. It is also possible that the ingestion of Hist sap also affects the social awareness of Argonians, although this may be a function of Argonian society in general. Some Argonians also believe that the Hist guide their choice of mate, and this has been recorded as an annual event by some scholars, although accounts of individual couplings exist. In extreme circumstances, the Hist have communicated with the entire race of Argonians, and as well as altering large numbers of them when they ingest Hist sap. This was done during the Oblivion Crisis, where the Hist recalled many Argonians to Blackmarsh and invaded the Oblivion Gates, closing them, and later coordinated an attack and invasion of Morrowind. It is also possible that the Hist feel the need for Argonians around them, as they consider them their quote-unquote children, but this may be just something of a cultural or literary device. We're not too sure. Now, as for the Hist of Umbriel, a distinct group of sentient trees were found on Umbriel. Like that floating island, they originate from the mysterious realm of Oblivion, and they came to inhabit the realm of Clavicus Vile. In the early 4th era, these Hist were split among the realm of by Umbra, becoming an integral part of the life cycle on the floating island of Umbriel. Compared to the Hist of Tamriel, these trees slightly differed in appearance. The leaves were too oblate, and the bark was less fretted, and they smelled a bit off. The Hists of Umbriel were responsible for producing many substances used in the island's kitchens. The trees were interconnected and played an important role in recycling the souls of Umbriel. In one sense, they were Umbriel. They lived in the Fringe Gyre, in an external area of Umbriel located around the edge of the island's surface. Although their root system extended down into the lower subterranean levels of the island, they were thought to be drawn to Tamriel from the void in the year 40 of the 4th era by the Hist. Anag Hornart, a Breton who had infiltrated Umbriel, had assimilated into the kitchen staff, planned to feed the roots of the Hist poison to cripple Umbriel. Miragleam, Anag's Argonian companion, felt a connection with the Hist similar to that of the actual Hist of Tamriel, albeit quieter and vague. After he was reborn as an Umbrielan, Glim felt an even deeper connection to and foiled Anag's plot. Following the destruction of the Second Ingenium, the Hist were responsible with teleporting the island of Umbriel to their mysterious realm. Following the death or departure of many Umbrielians from the grounded island, it is unknown whether or not the Hist adapted to their new environment. Now, the sleeping tree that is found in the Whiterun hold of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, it grows a mysterious pool, a misty pool beside a small cave now named after the tree. A giant encamped there, also named for the tree grounds surrounding it. Several legends exist the origins of the tree, and some say it was a piece of rock that was blasted from the Red Mountain during the Red Year, and it landed in Skyrim. And some say it grew out of the resulting crater of the explosion from the Red Mountain. And then others say it fell from the floating island, referring to Umbriel, and it's one of the Hist of Umbriel. Now, that is all we have on the Hist, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've included this was something we had talked about with the other members of the community in terms of the lore creators. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun to make. And with that, if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know in the comment below. As always, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.